This is the Sports Porch, Black and Gold, with your hosts, the technical director, the Grand Schwabini, and Hockey Jesus. Come on, Pittsburgh. Let's show a little Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates love. The Sports Porch Black and Gold starts now. Well, here we are, Sports Porchers. This is the Sports Porch Black and Gold, and it is the Steelers post-game show. Listen, if you're watching on YouTube, thanks for being here at the Sports Porch Podcast. If you're watching on X at the Sports Porch 1 or whatever the hell it is, go over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, click notifications. I don't know. I mean, this is a loss, obviously. We're going to get right into it. I'm going to drop the podcast right after this, anywhere you get your podcasts too. But this to me was like the tale of two teams. You know, the first half, without breaking it down completely, the first half looked like a good offense and a good defense. Some splash plays, the touchdown, the fumble in the end zone, the touchdown, the strip sack. The offense is running the ball. Mason is throwing it. Take away that first interception. That was a ridiculously good DB play. And I don't think, I don't know, whatever it wasn't anybody's fault. And they seem
it was Mason Rudolph's fault.
Okay. So they seem to rebound from that, and they're playing this game tight. And we had texted before the game. I'm the technical director. That right there is the Grand Schwabini, and that's Hockey Jesus below me. Anyway, I said this game was going to be a lot harder than I thought because, Chicago's defense, number 1 in takeaways, their offense, number 4 in the league, their rushing offense, like number 2 in the league. Yes, they did play against bad teams with an under 500 record, but, this is when you see the results of that and why they beat those teams. So, first half good, second half kind of deteriorating into the nothingness that is the way Tomlin seems to coach. So that's what I saw. HJ, Grand Schwab, which one of you guys wants to jump in here first and kind of take it from there? What did you see? Did you see what I saw just from 50,000 feet? Tale of two games, first half, second half.
I don't think I saw what you saw. I had my glasses on.
You're funny.
No, I mean, what can you say about this one? I mean, I would say, unfortunately, this is a game that I do believe the Steelers lost because of Mason Rudolph.
Right.
If they had an upgrade in this game at quarterback, I think it could have been a different game.
Okay.
In the past, I had thought that Rudolph actually threw a pretty good deep ball, but
right.
His deep ball was horrible today, and I think maybe it's because he just hadn't played for such a long time. And actually, the lovely lady, Amy May, agrees with that. She thought Rudolph played a good game, just to have a good deep ball. But did he have a good game? I would say no, actually. First of all, that pass on the opening drive that was intercepted, it wasn't a good pass, nor was the guy open.
True.
And the fumble was a really big turning point in the game. I didn't think he played great. And at the same time, with the Bears having 3 linebackers out, we thought that they could run the ball very well. And I think overall they did run the ball very well. Yeah. To be honest, I thought they could have maybe even used some more of that. And the Bears, the Bears are, that Caleb Williams is sort of a conundrum. I think he's got a ton of potential, but my gosh, is he inconsistent with the accuracy?
Yeah.
And I think I felt like there were maybe three balls that were like in and out of the hands of the Steelers where they couldn't hang on to an interception, which I think hurt them. And, bottom line, I mean, this was a winnable game that they didn't win. That's kind of where I come in.
All right, HJ, I just hear you sighing. I mean, there is a mute button there. I don't think we need to hear the crying going on and the sighing. Just give us your take and try to contain yourself if you can.
I'm just finding it so hard to have emotion about this team anymore. I mean, they come out and they score 14 points in the first quarter for the first time. And what did you say? Like 61 games.
Wasn't that second touchdown in the very beginning of the second quarter?
Might have been.
That's what I'm saying. But
anyway, they come out and their offense actually looked different for the first time. Where I'm like, okay, they're showing some creativity. Maybe this is an offense that can continue this for the whole game.
Right.
And then it's like they go into the halftime and they come out being the Steelers that we know and hate. It's run, pass, run, pass. Maybe they'll get a splash play. Maybe something will happen to get them going. And they wait until the fourth quarter to get going again. I mean, God damn, I hate this about this team. It just is like you get excited about this team, then they go back to their old ways. I mean, they ran a jet sweep when they were down inside the 10-yard line with Jonnu Smith.
Right.
I mean, I know they still got a touchdown on that drive, but it's like they're trying to be the old Steelers when all they have to do is just continue down that path of a little bit of creativity, like what they did on that tush push play. Great creativity, and look what it did. It got him a touchdown. Well, I mean, it got him a touchdown eventually, not on that actual run, but that's what I just can't get behind this team because of that reason. It's like just when you're getting excited about them, you're like, okay, and then what the hell was going on with that last drive? Okay, first of all, they punt, which seems ridiculous with 2 minutes left in the game, but okay, it worked out. Okay, so that's fine. Yeah. But then they get the ball, and it takes them 2.5 minutes to go 11 yards. And and I think somebody mentioned this in the comments. I think Rando mentioned this in the comment. They had to take a timeout because Pierre was like faking an injury because, he ran into somebody's leg. Like, just get off the damn field. Like that timeout really hurt them because clearly Mason Rudolph has not run the 2 minute offense with this team because he looked like he had no idea what he's doing. I mean, the first play was great. The second play was great. And then they ran the ball once? It was like, come on, that's ridiculous. I mean, you got to get in the field goal range. And if you're at the 50, all you got to do is get that 10-yard pass, just like they were doing, that out pass. And then boom, nothing. I don't know. It's just so hard for me to get excited about a team that's just so mediocre.
Yeah, it is really hard. And we go into this every week thinking about this. And I am always, Joe Pa 87114. I don't know what that means. Is that a zip code? He looked like Kenny Pickett out there. No, I mean, no. And as far as, and this was a funny one, Mason's problem is he's the only one who thinks he's a starting QB. Mm-hmm. Yeah, look, I don't think that Mason Rudolph is a starting quarterback. And I don't, and I do think that if Rodgers was in the game, I think I'm alluding to what you said, Grand Schwabini, and you as well, Hockey Jesus. I'm monitoring all these comments. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, please. We're trying to build our channel. Thank you for being here. But, if Rodgers was in, would we have won the game? I don't know, because that defense is so soft when it comes to just stopping the other team. I mean, they make the splash play, but here's the interesting thing. They talked about the Bears and their 22, now 23 or 24 takeaways. They live on the splash play as well. I mean, a takeaway is a splash play,
right?
Unless you're intercepting a Hail Mary ball at the end of the game or the end of the half, that's not a splash, but you get what I'm saying. So yes, teams, I just think our defense it's aged, it does not play as well as it should. It just doesn't. Ramsey was a great player. He's not what he was. Porter Jr. got injured, so he looked like he might have been getting better, but then he's out. And then James Pierre comes in, makes a great play, but it's like teams can pass at will on us. They don't need to run, and then at the end of the game, we end up doing what we're doing, So I don't know. I don't like this as a loss. I know we've talked about this, HJ. I know you've talked about it. As far as like, is this a must win? And as far as the division is concerned, and maybe a playoff spot if this plays out and Rodgers comes back. No, but I feel like every game in the NFL is a must win. You only have 17 of them. And the first thing they start with is your overall record. So, this is a game, you're right, they could have won and they didn't. And, and on top of that, Chicago's D, their starting 3 linebackers were out.
Right.
Where was I mean, I know Darnell Washington, you can't ask Darnell Washington to block Montez Sweat for 5 seconds and expect that that's going to work. And I think that Rudolph ran into that first sack. Maybe that was his only outlet. You know what I'm talking about, but I just think the whole scheme was not very good today. And I think it took the Bears a little while to, kind of catch on to the scheme. And once they did, it was, and I do like Caleb Williams. I think he needs a little more polishing, but Ben Johnson he's turning him around. He's turning him around. Rudolph, 24-31, 171 yards. His rating was just a tad below 87. So not good. No. We did rush for 186 yards. I mean, I don't care that 55 of it was on a Kenny Gainwell rush that ended up not being a touchdown. But at the same time, if you rush for 186 yards, you should win the damn ball game. Don't you think?
I do, yeah. And here's a question for you. I mean, not like this was certainly not a weakness in the game by any stretch, but if Jaylen Warren is the number 1 back, why is he not taking the first carry of the game? I mean, I know Kenny Gainwell got a 9-yard gain on it, great, but like when I saw that my first thought was, oh, is Warren out today?
Right.
And then all of a sudden he comes in like there's nothing wrong with him. I mean, I don't know. Some things I just don't understand. Like also too the Jonnu Smith jet sweep near the goal line.
Yeah.
It's the same exact play that didn't work last quarter.
Right.
The same play that didn't work. Jet sweeps are often successful with fast players.
Yeah.
And we have some fast players.
Really fast players.
CA3 could be a good guy for that. I mean, or even just like Metcalf, where he could possibly power by somebody or power through somebody. I don't know. It's some questionable play calling. And, I don't know. Just, I don't know. It was a frustrating game to watch. I mean, I just felt like there was a ton of opportunity to win this game. And they just fell flat. And I sort of think they fell flat on their own. I mean, Rudolph fumbled that ball. I mean, just, I don't know. I just felt like they didn't play that very well at all.
Here, I'll help you out, Mark.
Yeah, please.
I do know. If Aaron Rodgers would have been in there on that last drive, they would have won the fucking game, or at least they would have kicked the field goal.
Right.
Because he's the kind of guy who gets that shit done. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know what would have happened the rest of the game, but to me, it looked to me like the offensive line did a better job protecting the quarterback because they were running the ball well. So to me, that means Aaron Rodgers would have had a much better game. He would have been able to hit that deep ball when Mason Rudolph couldn't. Mm-hmm. And honestly, they probably should have fucking played Aaron Rodgers. I know everybody's like, okay, well, we got a good enough backup. We can do it. And so let's just let the guy play because he's good enough. Well, guess what? He's not good enough. Okay. We've proved that Mason Rudolph is not good enough and we don't need to do it anymore. Okay. If there comes a chance for Aaron Rodgers being mostly healthy and he can play versus, he's okay, but we'll play Mason because we have faith in him. Fuck that. We should play Aaron Rodgers. He could have won that game just like he did against the Jets. And that's the way I feel about this game in a nutshell. Now, as far as the playoff considerations go, the Steelers dropped from a 28% chance to a 20% chance. So it's not like they ruined their chances much. But what happens now is, because they're tied with the Ravens, now it comes to, you have to beat the Ravens twice. Okay. You can no longer tie. You can no longer win one, lose one, because in that situation, if everybody wins out, Baltimore wins, because we lost to Cincinnati and Baltimore doesn't. Now, if Baltimore loses to Cincinnati next week, different ball game, but you can't rely on that. So that's the problem. That's the problem with losing this particular game. No, it doesn't really mean much in the sense of the playoff race. And Kansas City, by the way, just beat Baltimore. And Baltimore only increased.
You mean the Colts.
Yeah. The Colts.
You're like really regressing here, hockey Jesus.
And 85. Anyway, Baltimore Ravens moved from 85% to 83%. I'm sorry, from 80, they were at 80%. They moved to 83% with that win. So they didn't really increase their chances much by winning either. So it's really going to come down to those two games, as much as you hate to say it. If the Steelers stumble, honestly, the Steelers could lose the rest of their games, and not necessarily lose the rest of their games, but like beat the teams they're supposed to beat, Cleveland and Miami, and lose to the rest of them, beat Baltimore, and still make the playoffs. Now, that being said, you're not going to feel good about this team no matter what if they do beat Baltimore twice and they do make the playoffs. So I don't know. It just, once again, it goes back to, this is the same damn team the last 4 years, where it's just like, can we get to 9 wins just so we can make Tomlin happy, and who cares after that?
Yep. It's very discouraging to see this, I mean, and especially somebody in the comments earlier was talking about Pickens. And it's, and what's funny is, all over radio, sports radio out here in Pittsburgh, for the last week or so, they've been talking about Pickens, and we just can't seem to stop talking about the past here, good or bad. It's never about moving forward. It's about what we lost, what we gave up, that kind of stuff. And as a fan base and a part of that media fan base, it gets so old. It gets so old. We need I hate to say it, but you could do Schwaber if you want to sing in the background. We need a hero in this town, and we don't have one.
I can be a hero, baby.
That was unexpected, but
the other thing, if you want to get further upset, the Steelers are officially out of a playoff spot now, because Baltimore does take the tiebreaker, because they don't have a loss in the division, even though they haven't played each other yet head to head. So,
yeah, well, I mean,
so now we're officially in the hunt with Houston and Kansas City. So how do you feel about that?
Yeah, not good. Not good. I do think Houston is missing one little piece, after watching that game the other night, and their defense, and and even with Davis Mills in there, who did start for them for a little while before Stroud came along, but so yeah, I don't like their chances there, but again, these are technicalities. We still got to play out the rest of the season. As far as the game goes, not a very good win or loss, for the Steelers. We'll have to break it down more tomorrow, I guess.
Yep. We will have to break it down.
Yeah, absolutely. Amy says our team is too old. Our quarterback is over 40. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree. They kind of play like they're old as well. So you guys got anything else you want to talk about before we leave here? Or are we all, going to bring this back for tomorrow night, dive into it a little bit deeper? I want to give you the opportunity.
We will dive tomorrow evening.
Well, the only thing I have to say is, now they have to play against Buffalo, who is coming off of 2 losses in a row. So
yeah.
How do you think that's going to go? And then they basically have what does that make? A loss, and a loss going into the Ravens game. Oh, that doesn't make you feel too good.
Nope. It may be time to start praying for that long losing streak, so they have no excuse but to get rid of the coach.
Well, but you know what? You know what always happens here? Steelers lose games that, you think that they're going to win, and then they win games you think they're going to lose. How much you want to bet Buffalo comes in here and they rock Buffalo next week with Rodgers?
No chance.
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
No chance. No chance.
HJ saying no chance. All right, we're going to take this debate to tomorrow night. If you've been watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. If you're watching us on X, thank you as well. Head on over to YouTube. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. We are at the Sports Porch Podcast on YouTube. Click the bell, the notifications. You'll know when we're live, which is after every Steelers game. And just as importantly, every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube and X, we are live with the Sports Porch Black and Gold. That's right. So, the Steelers, they lose one in Chicago. Much more to come, much more to talk about. I'm your technical director for Grant Albini and for Hockey Jesus, who's going after every single Penguins game as well. We'll see you tomorrow night.
See you tomorrow night.
Jubilance.